而家就喺 Spring Garden Road 睇住呢一度咧，就係 Halifax 嘅公眾圖書館。咁啊，我同 Matt Whitman City Councillor Matt Whitman 嘅傾偈咧，就會喺呢一度。
係各位網友你好，
各位網友你好。
Good try, Matt. So today, we are sitting in the beautiful Halifax Public Library. I will later on take a shot of the library, and this is if you know anything about architecture, and this building actually won quite a few awards. In the Architect Digest in the world. So the building itself is pretty interesting. And also my friend Matt Whitman here, he before this library opened, and during that time he used to be on the board of the Halifax Library.
That's
and
true.
He is a local politician. And I will let him, I'm not going to talk about that, I will let him talk about that. And nice to meet you, Matt.
Yeah, pleasure, James. Nice to see you.
So, well, just a public disclosure before we chat, because always this is a new thing for me to start a YouTube video. So, just public disclosure. You're not paid to come on my channel. And I'm not paid, except that you bought coffee.
Yeah, I bought coffee.
So we are doing it just for fun. So
we're doing it because we love Halifax.
We love Halifax, and it is a good town. So for us, it's just a friendly get-together, a fun chat. Okay?
True.
So how about this? Start right from the start. Can you tell us your name and what do you do?
So I'm Councillor Matt Whitman, and I work on the Halifax City Council, and I was elected for the first time in 2012, and then re-elected in 2016, and our next election is 2020.
So, well, another public disclosure. I didn't vote for Matt. No, I didn't vote for you. The simple reason is I don't live in his district, so that's even if I wanted to, I couldn't unless I moved to Hammond's Plain.
I wonder if your viewers know what city politics looks like.
Okay, now this is good question. Now, this is actually we are Halifax is having their election for city council and mayor in the year 2020. So this is democracy at work. But before I say that, you know, election and all that, Canada has 3 levels of government. We have the federal government, which just happened, and as federal, that all the provinces and elect their local representative in the area, and that's the provincial level, and that's the provincial government. And I don't think provincial election will be on for the next few years. And then another more local level is the municipality, the city government. So Matt, as I said in my previous video, is a local Halifax politician. So Matt, what others do you do?
What do we do? So locally, local politics include the fire department, the police department, transit, the library, like the one that we're in right here, fixing the roads and the potholes, approving the buildings that we see all around us.
Oh yes.
And that's all part of the local responsibility, clearing the streets of the snow that we get here in Canada.
Oh yes.
And
don't scare our
viewers.
Whoops!
Cancel that. Cut that.
So okay.
Yeah.
And so since you are passionate enough to put your name out as councillor, and well, next year you will be running for the mayor position. So, what do you think of Halifax as a city?
I love Halifax, and that's why I chose to run for mayor, because of how much I love this place, and I want it to grow sustainably. I want to have lots of jobs here for our kids, and I want to encourage visitors to come and visit, and new Canadians to come and live here. And we have many universities in Halifax. There's lots of jobs, and the economy is booming, and I think people from Halifax are very welcoming to visitors and newcomers.
So, okay, now people from Hong Kong, usually they know the MTV of Canada, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. Okay. What do you think of Halifax as a city?
Halifax is a lot more affordable than Montreal, Toronto, or Vancouver. In Montreal or Toronto or Vancouver, you might only be able to afford to live in an apartment in a tall building, but in Halifax, you can actually afford a house with grass and maybe by the ocean, definitely with fresh air, and or you can choose to live downtown like I do in one of these beautiful buildings and be close to everything. There's jobs here. There's beautiful scenery here. You can go canoeing 15 minutes from where we're sitting right now. You can go in the Halifax Harbor right there, and you can swim or jet ski, go sailing. So we have it all. And over the past 8 years, our city council has been promoting it to the world. Our provincial government has spent a lot of time visiting China, and people that are watching probably know about our lobsters that are famous from right here.
Oh yes, you can't come to Halifax without tasting the lobsters and mussels and scallops.
Yes.
Not just lobsters.
Do you know an airplane leaves here every day to China full of lobsters?
Yes, I know.
Amazing.
I know.
And we can go.
You can't miss it.
We can go right outside here, and almost all of these restaurants will sell us a lobster dinner right there on the spot for a great price. So life is good in Halifax.
So, since you talk about something about international business and all that, can you tell us something about immigration to Halifax?
Yeah, I think that people will find that if they're new to Halifax, they'll find it very welcoming. People in Halifax, we know that we need more citizens. The more people that live here, the better things get. The more diversity, the more new friends, the more delicious food, the more interesting jobs and opportunities and conversations. So people in Halifax are very open to new visitors and new Canadians.
Yeah, okay. So, but new Canadians or visitors, and I suppose, as I said before, most Hong Kongers, they only heard of MTV. Or most immigrants, they only heard of MTV anyway.
Yeah.
Can you speculate why? Yeah, we have a nice city. No, our population is not even 500,000 yet.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's a problem. But can you speculate why?
Sure. I think, first of all, Vancouver, because of the proximity to Asia. So it's the closest stop when you come across the Pacific. Toronto is our largest city with the largest population of Chinese people and other groups that come here from around the world. And Montreal, big city as well. And I think when people came here from around the world, they wanted to live near people that were like them from back home. Well, now in Halifax, we have a huge community of Chinese people and people from Hong Kong that you can find restaurants and friends and people from back home. It can feel like back home, or maybe 10 or 20 years ago, that wasn't the case. When you got here 42 years ago, you may have been the only guy you knew from Hong Kong, right?
Well, there was a few hundred.
Yeah? Good. And now, how many do you think there is?
Last time I checked Statistics Canada, it's over 3,000.
Great.
So
that's a great community.
Yeah. So.
And we appreciate the input from the community. You'll see lots of restaurants and businesses, lots of professionals. And they're having a huge impact, and you can feel it here in Halifax, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, good. So, are there any other things that Hong Kongers, if they choose Halifax, or if they just visit Halifax, or choose Halifax to study, as you mentioned, so many universities around to study, to work, to start a business. Are there any other things, practical things, that they may be interested other than lobsters and scallops?
Yeah, besides the the beautiful scenery and the friendly people and the clean air, it's safe here. It's safe.
Yes.
And I think it's a great place to raise a family, or to invest, to get plugged in and get connected. So Halifax is very welcoming. It's a smaller city than MTV, and you can actually recognize people that you know on the street, people here in this coffee shop.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Look at the lady that serves us coffee.
Yeah, she's from
Mainland China, from the Shandong province.
Yeah, and she goes to Dalhousie University and she takes economics, and there's a lot of people that are doing a great job here, and I think it's just a quality of life thing.
Oh, yes.
You're not stuck in a tight apartment. You can be here and be free and reach out and spread out and make friends, and life's good.
So, well, when life is so good, but ask you a little bit more tougher question.
Okay.
Is finding employment difficult in Halifax as an immigrant?
It would be if you didn't have the necessary qualifications to legally work here. But I think as an immigrant, if you have whatever documentation you need to be allowed to work, there's lots of jobs for professionals. Lots of students are choosing to stay. So there is jobs for people that want to be here. Halifax is growing so quickly. I think it's the second fastest growing city in Canada.
I thought it's
now.
the first.
Yeah, it goes back and forth between first and second.
Yes.
And so maybe in the video after, James will show you the buildings that are going up all around us. And there'll be 8,000 new people arriving this year, and they need places to live.
That?
8,000.
That
Most of them
many?
international. And the whole province is a great place to live. But Halifax is the economic hub. This is where most of the jobs are. And
oh, I didn't even know that many. 8,000.
yeah, and we're not building enough buildings. We need to build probably triple the number of buildings to have places for these people.
Are you
to live.
sure?
Yep. We're going to be short about 5,000 places to live for new people this year. And so some folks are going to end up in the suburbs and big houses on lakes. A lot of folks want to live downtown near the universities and the hospitals. But there's 8,000 people coming here, and there's not 8,000 new buildings, apartments or homes being built.
Oh.
We've got a problem where we're in a boom, the biggest boom we've ever seen, and we need to make it so that people can live here and work here. So that's the focus of the city council that I work on with our mayor, is to make this the most livable, best city in Canada.
I see. Oh dear. So, how about the support network? What do you think for a new immigrant or newcomers, even students? How can they get a good support network? I think that is something we lack. That's why we are not the MTV.
Yeah.
They have a good support network for all nationality. I don't mean just Chinese, but for Muslims, for
Lebanese, Italians. I think
African
African
descent.
Yes, I think we do have that for many of the communities. So Halifax has a huge Lebanese and Italian and Greek communities, and we celebrate those with different festivals. The universities have societies for Filipino people and Chinese students. I'm invited to a lot of events, Chinese New Year events and potluck events. So the support network is here now. I don't know if the word has been spread very well that it's here, but I think you're right. That's the reason why Halifax is slower to grow to international students and visitors. People didn't know that it's here. I think you could probably attest. You mentioned probably 3,000 people that you...
more than 3,000, at least on the Statistic Canada.
And that's a big number in Halifax.
That's 2016, actually.
Okay, so way
That's
more
the
than
last.
that lately.
Yeah.
That's a big number for us. 3,000 people in Beijing may not be a lot of people, but 3,000 people in Halifax is a lot of people.
good. Yes, it is. It is. It
And
is.
I don't know if I told you, I've been to China. I've been to mainland China.
Yes, I
Beijing.
know that you posted on Facebook a few times
Yeah.
that you were in Beijing. Yeah.
Right.
So, how do you think that the city? Are there any other programs or any official, unofficial network, the city, or that you're aware that there are some kind of support network for
There's definitely
immigrants?
lots of unofficial ones. Lots. I know through a group called the Immigrant Settlement Association.
Yes, that's iSense.
iSense now it's called, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very official.
It's a good one.
It's a
And,
good one, yes.
my former colleague on City Council, Jennifer Watts, is the executive director there.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
a former city politician like
Oh,
myself.
she is now.
She's the executive director of iSense.
Maybe if you have, if you can introduce
I will.
me, so I can have
That'd be a
something like this.
Stay tuned. There's another interview coming.
Yes, okay.
But there's definitely a lot of unofficial networks. You just have to visit any of the businesses around us, the little restaurants and coffee shops and tea shops and retail stores. All of those
Yes.
come with community and connections right here in this part of Halifax.
Yes, I have to say, this is a very vibrant part of town.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll take some videos and walk around
Yeah.
later for.
Do the south end of Inglis Street and Barrington Street, and
Yes.
you'll see businesses with lots of Chinese writing and
Definitely.
very welcoming.
Yes, definitely. So, yes. And so are there any other ways you can say how to show new people to get around, either job hunting or starting a business? Well, if they go to school, they already know it.
Yeah.
Where they have to.
I think that what I would do is just get connected, and not just with people from your own community, but to cross community lines and become friends and contacts with people that are originally from here, people that may have moved here from the United States or the United Kingdom, and get plugged in across community lines.
Yes, definitely.
And that's when you'll find out even more opportunities by not sticking too much to your own network, but growing your network with new friends. I think that works very well in Halifax.
Good. So, that's all the question I have prepared. But are there anything you want to say? By the way, as I mentioned in my last video, Paul McKinnon said, "I'm not running for mayor."
I am.
Yes. So, are there any other thing to say? Not to push your "I'm running for mayor" stuff, but why do you think? What vision do you have for this beautiful city?
Yeah, my vision would be just to make it the most inclusive, most friendly, most livable city in Canada. And so to compete internationally with the big cities that you mentioned, and to let folks know, and that's why I'm happy to do this video, let people know that this is a place that you can come and have a great life and work and raise a family and be happy and successful. That's my vision for Halifax.
Okay. Are there anything that you want our viewers in Vancouver, which Sam and Wingo encouraged me to start this video, this YouTube channel, and other viewers from Hong Kong or Toronto to know? Nothing against Toronto, my dear.
Not at all. Come visit us and try it out. I was in Vancouver 3 weeks ago. I was in Toronto 2 months ago, and so I know those are great cities, but they're busier.
Yes.
And this is a quality of life issue where you can come and you can make friends and you can plug in and get connected and be successful without all the hustle and bustle of those cities. And I think that if you come and visit us once, you'll want to stay, not just for the lobster, but for the really quality of life.
I have to say, this year, I don't think for the whole year, this is November now, I can't remember when's the last time I had a lobster.
Oh my. They're on sale right now. And I think that they're cheaper in Halifax than they are in Hong Kong.
Oh, definitely, for sure, and a lot fresher too.
You know, in the summertime, they sell lobster sandwiches at McDonald's and
yes.
Subway. So lobster's everywhere here in the summertime.
Oh, definitely. Okay, thank you very much, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friends. Look me up when you come to Halifax.
Okay, see you. This is my friendly chat with City Councillor Matt Whitman, and I hope, well, I will chat with him again closer to the city election time, and it is Whitman 2020. No, I'm not telling you how to vote. I may not even vote for him, by the way.
I'm out of here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, James.